I discovered Russell Brunson in 2009.
Yes, the Millionaire Maker.
The Millionaire Maker. The Millionaire Maker. And he had
right when he got started.
Yeah, when he well, he's been I guess so. I guess when he started online, and he had a product called live webinar or webinar live now or something like that. He'll remember the product that he had. And I subscribed to it. It's $37 a month. And that was the first time I realized that I could actually do a live event from my computer.
Yes, because you were traveling all over the country doing successful listing workshops. City to city to
Back
city.
then it was a short sale workshops that I was doing.
And that's a lot of work. That's
a lot of work.
That's a lot of work to get on the plane, take your equipment with you, land, present, and then go home.
Yeah. However, I will say that there's no better dynamic that I've ever created than from a live event, but it doesn't have the ability to, like when you want to reach your tribe, you want to reach your audience, you got to go to the internet, you got to go to video. You got to go to video.
So there may be a balance of live events. And
absolutely, there's got to be. There's got to be a balance there.
And so what happened from there? 2009, you got.
So 2009, I got into it and I started, but the product was still, it was one component of what is now ClickFunnels. You know, it was just the webinar, which is not even it's like he created that as a very small component of ClickFunnels, but it was the only thing that he had at that time. Right. You know, as an online product.
ClickFunnels was just a sparkle in his eye. He was just dreaming about it.
Absolutely. And so when ClickFunnels came, you know, when I snapped into ClickFunnels almost 2 years ago now, that has just revolutionized.
How many thousands and thousands of realtors have you been able to reach with ClickFunnels?
Well, we've reached over 100,000 realtors, and my list alone, and you guys need to be on my list because I want to build that list. Not everyone's joined yet, so my list is over about 34,000 now. And when I started with ClickFunnels, I had about 12,000.
And I love reading Knolly's testimonials too, of the people who've just bought successful listings, plugged into the system, applied the system. You know, they've not only increased their income, they've increased their joy, happiness, fulfillment, purpose. You know, so that was achieved through the technology that we're using.
Absolutely.
And this is where there's a trajectory in your business model where you start with your one-on-one, face-to-face, then you go to workshops, and then eventually you're going to go to digital technologies because you want to be able to expand your purpose. You want to get your mission and your vision out there. You
know, every single person listening to this, whether you're in real estate or some other thing, you have a divine destiny. You have a purpose for which God created you. I was reading the book of Acts yesterday.
I get chills all over when you say that.
I was reading the book of Acts where Saul talks about where Jesus confronts Saul. He was on the way. He was persecuting the believers, the members of the way. He was persecuting them, and he was on his way on a long journey to get. And he had already gotten the papers to put him in prison and all that. So halfway on his trip, he got knocked off his horse, and the voice came and said, "Saul, Saul," and he said, "Why are you persecuting me?" And Saul says, "Well, who are you, Lord?" He says, "I am Jesus, whom you are persecuting." And you know what Saul said? What his response was? "What would you have me to do?" What would you have me to do? That was his response. And in other words, what's your mission? What's my destiny? What's my purpose? What do you want me to do? And Jesus said, "I'm gonna show you what I got for you to do. It ain't gonna be easy now, but it's gonna be. It's what I." Now then, you fast forward in Acts, I think chapter 26, and as Paul now, he renamed Paul, is looking back on his life, he makes a really interesting note, and that is that God had set him apart before he entered into his mother's womb. God had set him apart. And I believe that that's true for every person. Even Jeremiah says, God tells him, "I knew you before I created you in your mother's womb." And so the thing is, there is a divine destiny and a purpose. And for me, it ain't just to sell houses, right? Even though selling houses is great. I have a home. A lot of great stuff happens in the home. And if you're selling houses, that's a great profession to be in because you are helping people to find their home, their happy place. At the same time, there is another destiny that God has blueprinted you with. And what I love to do is I love to teach agents how to work, 10, 15 hours a month, still making six figures and playing. That's what I do. I make, in my real estate business, I make anywhere from $15,000 to $20,000 a month, yet I'm only working 10, 12 hours a month in that business. You know?
And some agents are really hustling to get that.
But what am I doing the rest of the time? I'm playing in the field that God put me in, which is helping people to understand their divine destiny, their purpose, and inspiring them to their greatness. Yeah.
And how do you discover your divine destiny? How do you know what it is?
It's an 8-week course called Discovering Your Divine Destiny. You know, people used to ask me all the time, you know, how do I know? In fact, when I was as a Bible teacher, I spent 25 years doing sermon after sermon and putting together sermons on knowing your destiny, how to know your destiny, how to know God's will for your life, how to know your purpose. The trouble with it is that it really requires an in-depth workshop. So then people would pay me as a life coach and then have to pay thousands of dollars because you can't just get your answer in one session. Right? So with Discovering Your Divine Destiny, I was able to come up with, and we didn't even intend to talk about this.
Well, it's a system to help people go within and really ask the right questions.
Absolutely.
One of the things you'll learn about your business development is that the quality of the questions that you ask yourself or get asked determines the quality of your life and the growth in your business. And what mentors do a good job of is they ask you the right questions that spark.
In the right order.
In the right order. That spark that. Because you know your destiny in your heart, but maybe your head is getting in the way.
It's exactly right.
So the questions of Discovering Your Divine Destiny course.
That's exactly
that you
right.
begin to explore.
I love that you said that because really everybody knows their divine destiny already when they're younger, you know, or at least they have an inkling. But the older they get and the further away from their destiny they get,
or the further away from your heart and your intuition you get,
absolutely, that's when you really need help to get to find your way back. I mean, it's like being in a forest, absolutely lost. Your compass is broken, and you just need that tour guide to just parachute in and say, "Hey, buddy, here we go." And then you realize, well, wait a minute, I kind of had an idea that was what it was, but now you know for rock solid that that's what it is.
It's like imagine your life is like a boat. Your consciousness is a boat, and your market is the ocean. And when you know your purpose and destiny, that's the rudder in the water.
Absolutely.
But if you don't understand God's purpose in your life, you don't know why you're here, if you don't have that right attitude, that middle attitude and why, then you could be a boat just chasing money. You could just be chasing money in the next sale, going around in circles. Or you can put your rudder in the water and go to your destination, which is joy, happiness, fulfillment, financial freedom, purpose, service. So, like, look at your divine destiny, your why, as that rudder in the water. But sometimes it takes a couple years to discover how to put that rudder in the water. So
and you know, honestly, for many people, it takes many times a lifetime for them to discover what they were here on earth for, and it's too late. They're 80 years old. They're looking back on a life unfulfilled, and they're realizing, "Crap, I should have done this." It's regret.
Now. Start now with Discover Your Divine Destiny.
Discovering Your Divine Destiny is an 8-week course that in the course of 8 weeks you absolutely will know. Probably by week 4 or 5 you'll know. But I tell people finish the course. But for sure by the 8 weeks you'll absolutely know what your divine destiny is. And it's a few $100 instead of spending thousands of dollars hiring me to, you know, or you to coach them to that. And then if you feel like you're like, okay, well, now I know what my destiny is, but how do I support my family? How do I make money? How do I do? Then those things are fine, but don't learn how to make money first before you know what you're put on earth to do.
Well, what's cool is like one of the divine laws is when you discover your divine purpose as God designed you for, your actual wealth and money is guaranteed.
Absolutely. Because you become magnetic. You still have to learn sales, conversion, automation, funnels. You need to learn technologies to sell your divine purpose. But you can guarantee that you will be equipped with every single thing that you need
on the path towards achieving it.
Absolutely.
Because that's how God works. God will place the people, place His conditions and things in your life, and this is what it means to act by faith, not by sight.
That's right.
Because you know your divine destiny in your heart. You're living it, yet you don't always see the way God's working in your life, because 99% is off the radar.
Completely.
So you got to take those actions every day. Just using the tools and discovering your divine destiny. Keep applying the tools and techniques. And then eventually, 2 years pass, you go, wow, look how God placed all those people in my life. Like, look how God placed me in your life to help your health improve. Look how God placed you in my life to help my business improve. And here we are doing a video on it. Inspiring people to discover their divine destiny.
And we just, I guess yesterday or the day before, we said, wait, we should do a video. If we're going to meet about, you know, coming up with our intention, we might as well shoot a video about it and inspire others. So that's what this is all about.
Thank you for watching this video today.
God bless you. Love you. We'll see you again soon.